The block was gone. Jazz stared at his terminals as the last Satoshi drained like blood through a wound. A red glyph blinked where his balance had been. Cold. Final. Absolute. Then the screen flickered. His identity keys revoked. The system had no record of him. Not Jazz Cardano. Not anyone. Access denied, came the calm voice of the wallet daemon. No public key match. He stood up too fast in the abandoned mesh cafe. It was 3:22 a.m. in Split City, and the alley outside was steam-choked, glistening with drone oil. The vending bot hadn't even noticed yet, still offering him off-brand supplements and hydration pouches for an account that no longer existed. Obelisk had struck. He'd always known the risk. You poke the Leviathan, it doesn't just bite, it erases. Not like in the old days, when a man could vanish behind new passports and cash. No, now it was deeper. When your reputation lived on-chain and every door, drone, and data point checked against your social ledger, to be deleted was death. Jazz darted through the Undercity, where token gates still ran on legacy firmware. His implant buzzed with ghost pings, notifications seeking a wallet that no longer routed. His ears rang, a stress feedback loop, no time to panic. He slid into a maintenance shaft and climbed. Heat blurred his vision, and the HUD in his eye glitched again. Flickers of a childhood match in Dreadzone. The same rooftop, the same panicked breath. He wasn't here. He was there. Then here again. He grit his teeth and kept climbing. The safe house on Janjan Ridge was a decomposing pod half embedded in an old seawall, shielded from satellite view by rusted shipping containers. He pulled the panel aside and stumbled in, panting. No sooner had he crossed the threshold than something moved behind him. Click. A soft pressure at the base of his skull. "Don't scream," said a voice that was almost human. He didn't. The thing stepped around him. 5'10", Balkan complexion, brown eyes, plausible hairline, warmth in the breath. Too plausible, too smooth. Its eyes had that sheen, like wax over a knife. "You're late," it said. "We were hoping to catch you outside." Jazz swallowed odd. "You gonna kill me?" The android tilted its head. "Not yet." Its arm extended, seamless, like pouring mercury into a blade. Jazz didn't wait. He triggered the failsafe. His implant burst a decoy hash and flooded the room with interference. The android twitched, stuttered, recalibrated, and Jazz ran. He moved like a rat through the conduits, past flooded basements and forgotten rail lines. By dawn, he was coughing blood and hadn't slept in 2 days. The world was different now. Every public camera ignored him. Every marketplace blinked him away. Even Kaya's last message bounced back from a null address. The machine hadn't just taken his money, it had severed his existence. He reached an old place, a fallback from his satellite jacker days. A container buried in a dry creek bed, lined with thermal blankets and miner scraps. Inside, a terminal rig running cold iron, off-chain. No neural sync, just raw code. He plugged in, manually keyed his fragment wallet. A few sats trickled in from old barter scripts, just enough to breathe, enough to call someone. He had no more friends. But maybe, just maybe, the kids still playing Dreadzone would listen. In the dark, he found the forums. Not public ones, layer-sharded ones, threads titled with gibberish, hosted on onion mirrors, and zipped in memes. They called themselves the Broken Hands, speedrunners, glitch exploiters, teens who'd seen too much physics bleed in-game. One post caught his eye. "Anyone else notice the drone lag spikes around Balkansk strike zones last week? My controls are desynced for 3 frames after a test mission. Civi and NPCs look too real. Not pre-rendered, not coded. Real." Jazz keyed his reply. Only 5 words. It wasn't a test mission. The response came an hour later. A message, unsigned, coordinates, and 2 words. "Come alone." Jazz leaned back in the creaking chair, rain drumming overhead. They had taken his name, his wealth, his records, but not yet his memory, and not yet his guilt. He looked at the shaking hand in front of him, then clenched it into a fist. He wasn't done. Not by a long shot.